All right. Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to What I Actually Do. So this is sort of a chat show based on careers, which I was actually inspired by the meme. I'm sure some of you may be familiar with what my parents think I do, what my family thinks I do, what my friends think I do, and what I actually do. So that's why I decided to create this little thing. I'm your host. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fatiha. And I really wanted to just get a closer look at what my friends do for a living. So, in case anyone else is considering some of these jobs too, or you just want to know a little bit more about these jobs, this is the place to be. Anyway, it's going to be super casual. It's very chill. We're not going to go into very technical details. I know everybody's kind of like buzzing about the political talk, so we're not going to have that either. Just if you haven't made yourself a cup of coffee, go and make yourself a cup of coffee. I know I've got mine here. So I'll give you guys some time to go and do that. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. So enjoy. I want you guys to really just relax, enjoy your beverage of choice. Subscribe if you haven't already. So let's see if we've got.
How many people do we have
How
online
many
right
people
now?
do we have?
Only five.
Okay. So anyway,
Seven.
so if you hear a voice in the background, that is my husband Faiz. He's our technical guy. So
Okay.
I'll get us started.
No, we'll start the session when we get 15 at least.
All right. Okay. So
Okay.
let's get some more people in
Before we start.
before we start. Or for those of you who are already in, go and make yourselves a drink.
Yeah. While we wait for the others to join.
Mm. And those of you who are already in, you can see that
Kurang satu.
we've got our guest Joshua. So he's joining us all the way from his home. So we're maintaining the safe social distancing.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I think Faiz, let's. Shall we get started?
Want to start it already?
Why? How? I can't see how many people we've got.
Hello, Adam is here.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing Adam. So Adam Wyvern is actually from the Beyblade community that Faiz is a part of.
Right.
Yeah, so we're hoping to get some people from different communities as well. From the Beyblade community, I'm hoping
Say
to see
hello
them
in the
here.
comment section if you're already.
Yeah, give us a quick hello if you guys are joining us so we can see you all. Feel free to interact. Yeah, feel free to like drop comments in the chat box. Josh, is there anybody from family who'll be joining us? You think?
I've sent the link. Hopefully, they'll be able to join us, but I'm sure they will. Lah.
Yeah,
But
your
right now,
wife is
I
supposed to join
see,
us, huh?
yeah, she, yes. Wifey, if you're hearing this, please join
Say hello.
and say hello. I can see, I think mom is there. I think
Yeah, that's right, mom's there.
mom is there. Hi, Adam. Hi, Adam. It's nice to meet you virtually.
9. Okay.
All right, so we are wifey
Oh.
reporting for duty. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so now it's already about 3 minutes past 9. Let's get it started. We've got a few people in already. First and foremost, I'd like to get to know our guest. Those of us who, I mean, I know Josh personally because Josh is actually my agent. So I'm kind of cheating here by having him on board. Lah. So, Josh, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself, your background, your age. We know your wife is there, so your martial status, I think, itu clear lah.
Right. So, shall I start?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi, my name is Joshua, and in short, you can just call me Josh lah. A bit of my background. I am originally from KL, from Stapak boy. Right. I lived here for about 11 years, and shortly after that, we moved to Taiping because of my dad. He retired. We moved to Taiping. Beautiful, nice, small hometown. You have the Padang, you have the Kampung experience, and the waterfall, and so on. So I was there for about 6 years, and just after I completed my high school, I came back to KL to pursue my education in engineering. And now, moving fast forward, I'm 35 this year, married to my wife Kathy. As you can see, wife reporting here, right?
For
So
duty, yeah.
she has been a great support and an encouragement to me. And again, the very reason why I'm here today is because of her as well. She's been pushing me to do this.
Aww.
Yeah, so I'm so thankful for that. So, and again, I truly appreciate and I thank you for the opportunity, and I'm honored to be here to do this with you and to see the others here as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. Okay, well, I see also, I think this is Auntie Zura, I believe that is. Walaikum salam. Good evening. Okay, so wow, that's kind of a quick, well, not a quick, but a really big leap going from engineering to where you're at now. So,
That is
okay,
right.
just so I understand as well, what is your official job title?
Okay, so a bit of a background story a bit.
Okay.
Now, I represent two financial institutions who are giants in the country, right? So number one is Great Eastern. So I am a life insurance advisor representing Great Eastern Life and Great Eastern Takaful. That is my title in that company. Whereas I also represent an investment company, a public mutual company, whereby my title would be an unit trust consultant or investment advisor, right? Now, typically, for anyone who's doing this kind of job, they will call themselves a financial planner or a financial advisor. But you are only allowed to call yourself that if you are CFP certified. When I say CFP, meaning certified financial planner, or you have to be IFP, Islamic financial planner, right? Very few people
Okay.
have that certification. Okay, not many. All right. So I'm actually in the midst of pursuing those certification at this point, lah.
Okay.
So if you ask me at this moment, I call myself a financial consultant. Until I get my
Okay.
certification, then I can call myself a financial advisor or a certified financial planner. Yeah.
So technically, we've got a bit of a boo boo there, or as some would say, it's okay lah. The financial planner to kira hashtag goals lah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully in about 9 months' time, it will become a reality.
We hope so.
Yeah.
And okay, so what you're saying is you have to have the certification in order to actually officially call yourself a
A
financial
financial planner.
planner.
That is right.
So if you do, so I mean, this is great. I think information for people out there in the market who, if you meet somebody and they go, "Hey, I'm a financial planner," and you can be like,
Mhm.
"Are you certified?" Because I mean, I think that that's good to know as well. As a consumer, we want to know that, like, okay, the person we are, who is our agent, if they're
Mhm.
certified, and and as you said, not a lot of people are. So
Right.
that's great insider knowledge.
Right.
And I have to ask, how did you eventually end up doing what you're doing?
Okay, so let's move backwards 12 years ago. Okay, so if you asked me, have I ever thought of joining this business? No, never. Right? I was set to become an engineer, and that was my path. Right? That was what I was focusing on. And shortly, just after my graduation, I have a very good friend of mine by the name of Jennifer. She approached me, and then she
Kati,
said,
Kati, dengar nama perempuan.
no lah. She's okay. And Kathy is very close to Jennifer as well, so safe. So yeah, so Jennifer, we met and then we spoke over dinner, and then she presented the career path of a
Right.
financial planner or at least an insurance advisor. No, for a start at this point in time, at that point in time, right? And I really like the part whereby in that job that she was able to add value, create an impact, secure people's lives goals, financial dreams, medical, and so on. So I really like, oh wow, that was interesting. And I really like the part where she really goes out to value add, right? So that was what was exchanged during that dinner, and that caught my interest. And I told myself, you know what, let's try it out. You know what? I mean, how bad can it be? Kalau if aku fail pun, masuk balik lah engineering.
That's
So
true. I mean, you do have that.
yeah, so I told myself, you know what? I gave myself 6 months time to try this out, right? And let's see how far I can go with this. And of course, with the encouragement that I got from 6 months, now it became 12 years. So I started off with insurance, and now I'm managing insurance and investments, and also will writing and so on.
I think that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that shows real progress in, and also to know that in your line of work and what you do, that it is possible very much to progress and not just kind of be just that, or financial consultant and just
That is
sell
right.
insurance. Okay.
That
So
that is
just
right.
so I can explain to everybody who's joining us right now, how our show works is we're gonna have 5 different segments. And in each segment, we're gonna go into different perspectives and see what people think, people in Josh's life think they do. So we're now gonna cue and move into our first segment, what your family thinks you do. Yeah, we've got a little cute little
Transition music
cue.
hebat.
I know. Okay, so Josh, what does your family think you do?
Okay. A very tricky question. I think some of my family members are watching this. But I think in the beginning they could be thinking that I'm printing money lah. I'm going out, meeting people. It's like what is this guy doing? Kerja ke tak ni? Always like having fun and things like
Right,
that.
right, right, right.
But they know that I am in the financial business lah. Dealing with
Okay.
insurance and investments and whatnot. So that is what they think they do. I mean, they know that I'm doing that lah.
Because I mean, I think going into insurance, and you don't really have. I mean, my understanding is you don't really have a set office per se.
Mm-hmm.
So that might kind of be like, like as you said, kerja ke tak ni? Keluar jumpa orang, meeting pun tak ada meeting dekat not office meeting, meeting
Right.
kopi.
Now I have to tell you a true story. Okay, this happened right after I got married to Kathy,
Mm-hmm.
and until I moved into my own place, I was staying with my in-laws for about 2 weeks lah, because waiting to move into our new home together lah kan. And in that 2 weeks, of course, after Kawin, I was taking a break, and everyone else is like going to work, my brother-in-law and everyone. And Kathy also went back to work and things like that. So I was like, I got up at about 11 o'clock. And then I came down the staircase. And that has been happening for some time. And my father-in-law was noticing, it's like, what sort of pattern? What is he doing? So can you imagine, like, at one point he was like, hey, Josh, I'm actually quite curious. Do you really have a job? You know? Then the answer I gave was like, well, it's a bit too late right now. I'm already married to your daughter. So, you know? yeah
Oops.
but yeah but
Got
but
it.
but yeah but that is the job lah. I mean, I have my job. So happened that it comes with the flexibility. Not many people know that because I don't work for a corporate job, right? So but that was just a story lah.
Okay, okay. And I mean, because typically there tends to be. I mean, I'm seeing you did engineering, so it's one of the three courses to do: doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Typical
So,
Indian families ambition. Yeah.
so how did
Yeah.
that go for you? I mean, were they very acknowledging of you moving into this
Oh.
completely different field? I mean, okay, technically it's medical, and technically financial.
Right. Now, whether do they acknowledge me in the beginning and what they feel about what I did when I transitioned from engineering towards finances, right?
Yalah,
Now,
pay
like,
so
like,
mahal
like
for you to study some more. Ah.
exactly. So, like you just said, Lord, being raised up in a typical Indian family, and of course, culturally as well, most of them will think, oh, you either have to be an engineer, a lawyer, or a doctor, right? So, of course, I chose engineering. Right? And I was about to complete my education and things like that. And just after that, haven't even got the chance to practice much. I jumped into financial planning. Now, guess what? My father would have said, I paid so much money for this guy, and he studied engineering. Next thing you know, he's doing finances. I would have taught him finances for free. Yeah,
Save
and why
save money.
save money. But of course, that's jokes lah. But there is some truth in that lah, basically. And he did say like, "What on earth are you doing?" I'm like, "How come from engineering you're doing finances?" My mom also the same thing. You better go back to engineering. You better go back to your job. You need your fixed income. So this is what they were saying. So it took them a while to accept that part lah. Even though I was in my work for almost 2 years, 3 years, it took them a
Wow.
really long time to digest that information. But the good thing is, by God's grace lah, over time they saw me, I'm doing well. So that became like a confidence, saying, okay, you know what? If he's able to take care of himself, why not? I don't see the harm lah. You know.
So not engineer pun tak apa lah. You're engineering people's finances lah.
You know what? I mean, yes, I agree, and I'm grateful for the education that I had because I believe I'm able to do well and explain to people well because of the technical knowledge I've gathered in my education years.
Right, right,
Right,
right, right, right.
right. So that is why I'm able to address not. I mean, I can address simple people. I can also address technical people as well. So,
I
and
think
of
that
course,
matters a lot. Yeah.
it matters a lot. So I think you meet a lot of people, so you need to be equipped with that technical knowledge. So education is powerful. I truly encourage anyone to continue learning and studying. You know, that is important.
Okay, so I mean, given that even I myself had the slight boo boo of understanding about financial planner, how do your family members that generally tell people like, oh, this is what my son does, or this my son-in-law does? You know, do they go, what is, what does Josh do? Josh sell insurance.
Actually, yeah, most of the time that is the answer. But sometimes, let's say if they meet someone new and then they want to tell, like, what is my son doing and things like that. Sometimes adalah tokok tamak sikit, they want to like cerita-cerita sikit kan. So they will say like, he's in the insurance business, he's doing investments, and things like that.
Okay,
But
okay, okay.
but usually they don't go far from the story lah. They will still remain there, and they know what exactly I'm doing. So that is there lah.
Yeah, and you've recently gone into public mutual. So is that something like, oh, by the way, add this on to like description of what I do?
Yeah, I told them, like, you better know what I'm doing. I don't want you to be spreading false information. But I think I'm thankful for my parents and my family and in-laws and all that because uh, they have been a good PR in that sense. Like
Right.
they share what I do, not only about me, like everyone else as well. Anyone they come across. So they've been a good PR. They share good information, and through that, opportunities do come to me as well. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, do you have any crazy stories of maybe how they tell people about what you do, or they describe your job, or they're like, oh, so yeah, this is Josh. He sells insurance. If you scared you're gonna die, you call him. That kind of thing.
I don't have that kind of experience, but perhaps I can share a story lah, like what happened with my brother-in-law, right? So I think at one point in time he got a call because again, insurance companies or investment companies, they do random calls and check whether your
I
agents
see.
are
Okay.
servicing you. Are they doing the right thing for the right reasons and things like that. So he told me that he got a call from the insurance company asking, how's the agent, has your planner been advising you well? Has he been servicing you well and things like that? So guess what he answered? Of course, the customer service doesn't know my brother-in-law is my brother-in-law lah. So
All
he was
right.
saying, yeah. So he was saying like, no, yeah, he serviced me very well. Even yesterday, I met up with him, yamcha with him, and things like that. I was like, oh,
Like, wow, he's really
and
friendly.
yeah, and how often does he service you and things like that? Oh, we meet up every 2-3 days. We meet up, right? And not only that, he sold me an insurance plan, and he even married my sister. So, so that caught the customer service off guard. I think it's like, huh? Yeah, betul, mamat ni, but
Service
that is
service power. He
ini
sell you
ini
insurance. He marry your sister some more.
this is one kind of a deal lah. So so memang this is something which is very interesting lah. Yeah, that
But
happens.
I mean, on that subject, do you actively promote to your family? Do you, I mean, to members of your family or extended family? Do you offer insurance to them?
Okay, the truth is, I have to be honest about this part. In the beginning, no.
Okay.
Right? In the beginning, no. Because again, can you imagine? I just graduated from engineering. I switched to finances, and I don't have a track record to prove to say that I've done this A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
Right? And for them, especially family members and close ones, they like to really look closely into this and say, betul ke mamat ni? Like, is it
Okay.
really, like, things like that. So that's what happened. And in the beginning, so what I did was, when I started, I did a lot of cold calls. I approached the cold market, strangers. I got business cards, and that's what I've been calling. So in the beginning, no, but there are a few people that I did approach, and they were kind enough to support me, and they were gracious enough to be my client. And there were a few lah, select friends, a few friends, and a few close family members. But in the beginning, most of the time it was strangers, because again,
Wow.
I wanted to build the track record first.
Right,
But
right, 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 right.
over time, and they see me that I'm in the business for a very, very long time. Now the family and friends are coming to me and say, Josh, can you advise me? Right.
Okay.
So
So
now
so
that's
it's
a
they
shift
come
I
to
have
you
done.
as opposed to you going to them.
Yes, yes. Right. That is right. That is right.
Wow. Okay, okay. And
Yeah.
so going, extending into that, I guess in the sense of how that affects your relationship to family, going from I'm not sure if he's doing the right thing, it kind of moves into okay, I see he's doing a great job, and maybe I want him to be my agent.
Absolutely right. Yeah, because again, you can't blame them. Or in fact, you can't blame anyone. Like
Right.
if someone approaches you and wanted to sell you something, there has to be a level of trust,
Yeah.
right? So I can't take it personally if they don't have the trust yet. So whether it's family members or whether it's friends or strangers, trust is key. It's the most
Right.
important thing in any relationship. So I understand that they don't have the trust in me yet. So it's my duty to develop that trust, right? And over time, prove myself that I can do this job. But so what I did was I showed my services first, build my track record, and they see that as a point, as an anchor point, and say, you know what, I can trust this guy. So that is how people were approaching me after that.
You'd think family would immediately have that trust in you, but I guess trusting you as a relative versus trusting you as an agent, because it's in a sense you were managing, so to speak, you're kind of advising them on their finances and such. So it
That is
does
right.
have a slightly different relationship dynamic there. So that's quite interesting to know. I mean, how your relationship with family goes in terms of you being an agent. So
Right.
I didn't know that you would have probably approach strangers first. I would think I'd try family first because then it's okay. I'm familiar with you. We test run it with each other first, and
I
then
did, I
you
did, I
know,
did try. It's just that after one or two people said no to me, I felt macam discouraged a bit lah.
right, right, right,
If a stranger said no to me, I'm like, doesn't matter. I'll go to the next one. But when it's a family member said no to me, then I'm like, that sucks lah. You know.
yeah,
So at that time, my seniors in the business, they said, you know what? While you're waiting to build your credibility to approach your warm contacts, why not we learn the skills of cold call?
right,
And for me, I think that is the biggest learning experience, because in the
right, right, right.
business, soon or later your warm contacts will deplete,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to go to cold market anyway. But I started from the cold market and I went to warm, so I
Right,
didn't really have much issues to get clients.
right, right, right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a blessing, like I would say.
Okay, we've got a question from Wani Gapar. So actually, Wani is a friend of mine. She's all the way in Brunei. So hello,
Uh-huh.
Brunei.
Wani Gapa, hi
So
Wani.
yes, so she wants to know how do you build that rapport and trust with people?
Um, it's not to say that complicated lah, right? Like imagine you're dating someone, or there is a guy trying to court you or trying to date you or something like that. Senang je. I mean, not say senang lah, but the guy has to approach the girl, sweet talk a bit, send flower lah, send gifts lah, and then take her out on a date, and build that trust and the confidence and things like that, right? Similarly, when it comes to relationship with clients pun sama juga. It's just trust. And how do you do that? Of course, if I say, oh, Fatiha or Wani, buy this product because I'm promising you sun and moon and stars and things like that. That is a typical salesman and can be bullshit, right?
Right,
But when trust can be built at the point of the sale, but after that, there is also, you need to deliver the value. Like, what kind of value can I relate with you? Like, for
right.
example, you value information, you value
Mm-hmm.
service. And if I'm able to display those things during that presentation, or during that relationship, the presentation basically, if people can sense that you're genuine, people will trust you. But that is just part one. Part two is the delivery of the service. You check up sun, moon, and stars, but you don't deliver, so you hancur the trust as well. right? So of course you need to deliver, like something happens to the client or a crisis happen or claims needs to be done. A client needs a particular help on something and you need to assist. So when you assist, they see apa yang dia cakap ni, dia buat, right? So that is how you build. So trust is not just not one angle lah. There's multiple angles that you need to do, from the point of sale, during the process of the sale, after the service, after sales service, and so on. So there's many angles. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, I think trust when it comes to family is important, and trust is also something that I feel is something super important when it comes to friendship as well. So on that note, we will move on to our next segment: what your
Okay.
friends think you do.
Right.
Okay, Josh, what do your friends think you do?
They think that again lah. I think they think I print money as well. You know, they feel that when I go out, maybe Joshua is carrying a bag of loads of cash, or meeting all the datos and the datins. You know, I wish. I mean, I do want to meet them. You know, and signing big deals, driving big cars and things like that. You know, so that is
Yo.
general impression lah, right? So that is what I think. I think that's what they have mentioned. Like, hey, Joshua, kau ni buat apa ni? You know, and I see that you go for holidays and things like that. It's like, wow, really, you know,
Gila,
living
best
a
kerja
different.
you.
Macam best kerja kau kan. So what do you do? So most of the time, this is what they feel.
Josh sells drugs.
The good kind of drugs, okay? But yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had, I suppose, asking you what you do and maybe meeting with Datuk Sris and whatnot, have you ever heard some crazy misconception that they've told you about your job?
I think okay. So this applies not only for clients and strangers and things like that. Then one of the first mindset that they have is when they see a salesman, the
Hmm.
first thought that comes to their mind is this guy must be a con man,
Okay,
right? This guy must be a con man because it's like he's trying to sell me something. You know, it's too good to be true. There must be some catch behind this deal. Takkan like everything is so rosy and things like that, right? So that is a misconception. Now, I don't blame them. The reason being because they have dealt with so many salespeople, and because of bad experiences, and they have been bitten before, they put on a defense mode when they see the next salesperson. I think you and I will do the same thing as well when someone does that to us. So
right.
it's very common, right? But I think with proper education, with proper explanation, and then they see that this guy is of value or this person is of value, and they explain and they you really walk through the process, right? The concept and the thought changes, right? But the mess when they see in any sales guy, whether it's insurance ke, investments ke, car salesman ke, or OSIM chair salesman ke, the first thing is the salesman is a con man. And honestly, that is honestly that is something I was it was a challenge. It's not a big challenge, honestly. Reason being because I genuinely transfer or add value to them. So the
Right,
moment
right,
they
right,
buy the value, they feel, you know what, because of this value, let's set a working relationship. Let's establish a working relationship. And let's
right.
see. Let's grow together. So that is the basis that we always work together. Lah. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a really cool, well, a really great question actually from Auntie Zurai.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to pitch, and I think I'm sure you face this a lot, whether it's friends or family. With strangers, maybe if you get a no, it's fine. But with friends and
Okay.
family, I'm sure some of them already have existing insurance.
Right.
So, what do you do to kind of win them over and to buy additional insurance cover from you, or maybe even public mutual, those sort of things?
Okay. Very, very good question. Now, it's very common, especially right now we live in Klang Valley, kan? You know,
Right.
Selangor and and KL is a high performing state. So a lot of people that ada insurance. Every single time you call people, like if I ask you or if I ask Wani or if I ask anyone there, or I said, you got the insurance? Dah ada insurance dah. You know. That is the general understanding, and a lot of them have insurance. But a good consultant would ask more questions, right? Like for example, if you do have a plan, I will ask you, what exactly do you have? Now,
Right.
most common answer is, I remember how much I pay every month, but I don't know the benefits. I need to speak to my agent lah.
Guilty. Guilty.
I need to speak to my agent lah, or I need to go back to my email lah, to check for all these details, right? Now,
Cover
as a
hospital lah.
yeah lah, aku if I admit in the hospital, cover lah, or if I got illness, I got some payout lah. But when you probe further, when you ask questions like, how much exactly are you covered?
Right.
When did you buy this plan? Is it still relevant today or not? And how do you know whether the plan is going to be relevant in 5 years down the road, 20 years down the road? Have you done a review of your plan? Just
Right.
like when you buy a phone, or you always upgrade your phones and your laptops and things like that. Have you done those kind of upgrades for your plans? When they say no, this is where you go in and say, you know what, let me do a review. And usually when I do a review, I do it for free. Again, we want to add
Okay.
value, correct? So I do it for free. I'll show them, I'll tell them that this is exactly what you have and what needs to be done to move forward. So once they see that and they have had an aha moment,
Hmm.
after that, any financial solution that goes in is almost a guaranteed win. Honestly. Now, like I said, we cannot take advantage just because, oh, I'm trying to sell them something. No, that shouldn't be the way. As long there is a genuine need and you really want to help the person to move forward, that is how you go in and advise them. Yeah.
Okay. One of your
Oh,
friends.
this guy.
I'm
Then
joking.
my bestie, Furhan Faizan. Do you do movie review? Yeah. For Tamil movies lah. You call me privately, I'll do a Tamil movie review for you lah.
So I mean, as somebody who I mean, you're my agent, and
Yeah.
I would love to ask if I'm sure you have other friends who are also your clients, and how does
Yep.
being their agent affect your friendship?
In fact, in a good way, I believe. That is what I think, because they truly see the kind of impact that I can create for them, and I focus a lot on education.
Right.
I take a lot of time to teach people how to plan, what to plan, what are the types of plan available, and things like that. So once you truly empower the customer or the client or the friend, now my friend who is a listener is able to make the decision for himself.
Right. Rather than
Dulu,
you having to kind of go do this, do this, do this, do this.
exactly. So dulu, last time the pattern was is product pushing, like buy this product, buy that product, But now it's about service based job. You need to provide the service. So when I do that kind of service for my friend and my friends like it, no, not only friends lah, even strangers like it. So when they like what they see, they want to work with you,
Right.
right? So in this case, it only elevated our friendship because they know that I'm genuine. They know that I take care of their profile and their portfolio well, and any questions they have and things like that, I answer to them. I answer them clearly. So, and again, I'm honest. If I don't know, I tell you I don't know. But I will take the time and the energy to find out what exactly it is. If I know, I will attend to you straight away.
Okay. So
So
we've
this
got two
is,
questions.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So the first one is yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of peopling in your job, handling people, and I imagine sometimes it's not always happy news, especially
Mhm.
when you're dealing with friends and family. You have like when you meet people and you find out, oh, okay, your coverage is going to be a lot more expensive because of upper comorbidities, like well, pre
Yep.
illnesses you have,
Yep.
or
Yep.
finding out that we can't insure you due to so and so reasons. So how do you keep your
Hmm.
energy level up, and how do you keep that positivity, not the COVID kind, going?
Okay. I have to admit, sales job is not easy. It is tough, especially dealing with rejection, objection, or that's number one. Number two, when you already doing all the proposal and you are about to secure the deal, and next thing you know, hey, I have pre-existing issues and things like that. And then now you back to square one. Apa salah tak cakap awal-awal, you know? So now this happens not only in sales job, but in life in general. All of us will feel some sort of rather a similar type of experience, right? Life will just throw a curveball and it will just hit you off the track, and it happens. But the thing is this: you have to be very clear about the work that you're doing for your client. My job is to make sure that I do the best I can to bring him from point A to point B, right? And of course, there are some possible solutions and there are some solutions memang tak boleh. But it's okay, right? But it's okay. You must feel good that you actually added value to someone on that day. Doesn't matter whether the sale go through or not. Of course, if the sale go through, it's a bonus, right? You
Yeah.
can celebrate and whatnot. But even if it doesn't go through, it's okay because you have done a good job. You have
You've
added a
educated
value,
them, right?
educated them. So today, when my customer walks away and someone walks away, he's at least empowered to know that I know what to do now,
Right.
you know,
And I
and
suppose
I
that also
know
applies, as you said, if they have a another insurance that they're using and they're happy with it, at least they are now empowered to know, okay, these are options I can now start looking at, or I need to know
exactly.
what of my stuff is covered.
Exactly. So I meet people when they have different policies from different companies and things like that. So because of my team that I belong to in the insurance industry and investment industry, they have trained me to do reviews to identify what exactly is going on, not only for Great Eastern policies, but for external from other companies as well. It's pretty much about the same, right? But when like I said, if your intention is to really add value, you will advise accordingly,
Right.
right? You advise accordingly for the well-being and the good interest of the client, not for yourself. So if you
Right.
help the client win, you win. That is the game that we are doing lah.
Or the real win-win. Lah. So from Maria, Maria is also from Brunei. Well, she's in Brunei.
Right.
A friend said it's harder to pitch to friends and family because they know you can see right through them, and vice versa. Do you find this is what you do?
Okay, so again, I think I said this earlier because they know you and you don't have a track record and things like that. Maybe they will feel, boleh percaya ke? You know, can I trust this guy or not? You know, things like that. And that is why, like I said, I share similar feeling like how Maria felt as well. That is why I took a bit more longer time to approach my family members because I needed a track record to prove, to show that, hey, I'm not coming empty handed. I've done this. I've spoken to this many people. I've done claims for this kind of people. So when they see that,
Right.
okay, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Of course, some will say yes, some will say no, but don't take it personally. It's okay. Ada banyak orang kat luar. If it's not your family member, find someone else. You have friends.
Mm.
If you don't
And
have
you're
your friends,
educating them at the end of the day, right?
exactly. And if you don't have your friends, find the strangers. I'm sure there'll be some people who will say yes to you. So the idea is, this is what I learned: keep doing until you get your yeses.
I think
Right?
that's really great advice. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, you were saying the more you.
The more no's you have, eventually you will get your yeses. That's what I was trying to say. So the idea is, don't be discouraged with no's, but the more no's you have, the more yeses you will get as well. That is the principle.
And that's
Right?
really profound, and that's great advice. I think that would reflect to what Jeremy was asking about, what advice you would give to youngsters who just finished their college studies and
Uh-huh.
moving into the working life. And this applies, I think, to everything, not just apa ni, life planning or financial planning and such. Is where keep going, and the more no's you get, the more yeses you'll get as well.
Correct.
Okay, we've got another question. I will take this one before we go into the next segment. Do you agree that nowadays one policy of insurance is considered incomplete in coverage for one person?
Mm, okay, it all depends on the planning, right? So again, there is some truth in what Inche Yus has said. Okay, there is no one plan to fit everything.
Hmm.
Now, when it comes to life goals, you and I, or majority of people, we have many various types of life goals. Betul? In the beginning, just after I graduated, my life goal is to make sure that I protect my income against what? in case if I'm not able to work due to an illness or disability, and I've not reached the retirement age, I lose the potential of my income in the next 30 years. So what I need to do, I need to secure my income plan or my coverage plan. So that is a need then. But of course, as you move forward, when you reach your 30s, you'll be saying, you know what, now I have more disposable cash. I want to invest,
Right.
right? So that is another financial product. And then by the time you touch 35, you will say, I'm going to get married right now. I want to buy a house, right? So how am I going to protect the debt that I'm taking against the loan that I'm taking? I'm going to buy 500,000, 750,000, $1 million, $2 million house. If anything happens to me, how my family is going to sustain? So again, another
Right.
financial product will come in. And then you're talking about your kids. You have your kids, and then you have education plans, another financial need. And of course, when you retire, you want to make sure that whatever you work in the past 30, 40 years serve you during your golden years. So there's another financial need. So there's no one plan to fit all needs. I tak boleh. Honestly, it is the reality is there will be many financial products to meet your needs, which you need to take along as you journey in life.
Hence the importance, I think, of being educated about what these needs are or how to address these needs through these different products.
That's right. That's right. Now, I also want to share this. Like we as listeners here, and also people outside, you need to really change your perspective, right? You need to change your perspectives and see the message behind, and try to understand why I need to do a proper financial planning when it comes to whether it's investments or insurance. Doesn't matter lah, or even will writing, doesn't matter. You need to know what is the message behind. And if you understand that, I'm telling you, you as a client, you will be making your own path already. It's like you'll be calling Josh. Hey Josh, I want to do this. Hey Josh, I want to do that. Because you know why? Now you're empowered.
Right.
But right now, what's happening is agent is the one calling. Hey Josh, you have to do this, or you have to do that. Fatiha, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
because they are not empowered, clients pun like dengar, apa benda
It
mamak ni
feels
asyik
very
call me
being
something and
sold
tell me
things to
something.
you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's like, kenapa this fella is always calling me, trying to sell me something? Reason being because they don't understand. So
That's
so
true.
it has to be both ways, lah.
Okay. Well, on that, let's move on to our next segment, which
Mm-hmm.
is what society thinks you do. Okay. So you were talking about about empowering people and how people nowadays aren't actually that educated about their insurance or what coverage they need or what financial plans they need. So what is society's general impression of what you do?
Okay, so I did share this earlier. Most
Hmm.
people, when they see a financial planner or an investment planner or any sales guy, for that
Con men
matter,
lah.
they comment. Yeah, it's very common. Out of 10 times that we go out, we always hear 8 times. Dah datang lah conman ni. What is this guy trying to sell me? Like I said, I don't blame them. That is their exposure. They have been bitten before. They
Yeah.
had bad experiences. Someone promised them the sun and moon, but eventually they promised them roti canai. Not to say roti canai is
No,
not
but
good. Roti canai is good, yeah. But again,
I love
what
it.
I'm trying, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but in all honesty, that has, and in a personal sense, that has happened to not myself, but my husband. To fight is, he has had people call and be like, oh, we're from this insurance and we'll insure you and you pay, and you end up kind of where they constantly call you for money, and you're like, but nothing is really being insured, or it's
mm,
basically a scam lah. So, would
right,
you say
right.
this is where that incorrect understanding comes from, or where it stems from?
Okay, yeah. Can you just say that again one more time?
Sorry, basically that would you say that because there are insurance
Bad
scams,
apple.
bad apples, this is
Mm-hmm.
where that con man impression or
Yeah,
understanding of you guys come
yeah.
from?
Yeah, not only that, insurance scam ada lah. Whether it's insurance scam or financial scam or investment scam, ada banyak scams right now, right? But usually, how do you detect is this? When someone calls you, when you know what is the right questions that you ask. you know the person will be able to answer you properly, genuinely. But then again, janganlah simply fall for everything that they're saying. You must do your own research. Like for example, I got a call for investment saying I can get this much of interest in every month. Right? It's too good to be true. The next thing I need to do is go to Google, the father of all answers. You know, right? Go
The
to Google
father of
and
all.
exactly go to Google, type in company ABC. Straight away you akan keluar some story. Oh, this is a scam. This is not a scam. Things like
Right.
so. Again, this is how you differentiate. But it is true that it happens over the phone or where you meet person to person, scamming me, especially during COVID. Ada banyak cerita, people lose money,
Yes.
the Macau scam, secretary lah, doctor lah, transfer money, 500,000 there, 500,000 here, and things like it happens because they don't do their due diligence.
Right. But
And
given, I
that
mean,
is
you were
important.
saying about COVID, COVID being the hottest topic right now. Has that affected the market? Do you see that there is an increased interest in people getting insurance because they want to be covered from in the event that they get hospitalized for COVID? I'm sure you've seen that bill go around like, oh my God, if you get hospitalized for COVID, this is how much it's gonna cost. So
Right.
how's that been like? Has that changed the market pre-COVID and now?
I think COVID in many ways has taught a lot of good things lah. When it comes to insurance perspectives, I think they really see the need on two things to make sure that their debts are taken care in case if anything,
Right.
if I prematurely pass on, I want to make sure that my family is able to continue their life and continue achieving their life goals. Number two, medical bills. If I'm hospitalized, I need to make sure that my medical bills are taken care, things like that. So there are a huge concern. This happened a lot from the time COVID hit our country all the way till today, right? All of them, the concern is, if I'm hospitalized, am I covered? If I prematurely something happens to me, am I covered? Oh, I want to make sure that my family doesn't left behind with debt and things like that.
Right.
So there is a huge interest in terms of insurance. Now let's talk about investments pula. Investments pun the opportunity is besar as well, right? So the market went down. People thought, oh, market is crashing. People are losing money and things like that. Now, people make decisions because they are emotional. They don't understand their decision making. It's not backed by rational thinking, right? So because of it's emotional, they make very rash or decision or bad, poor decisions, and they lose money in market, especially in stock
Right.
market. But if they're informed that this is a good time to go in, I saw equally a good amount of people who make good profit after that during that downtime. So if you ask me, there is ups, there is down as well. So, but overall, what's been happening is there has been a great interest, whether it's insurance or be it investments, there has been a greater interest. Yes, so that's for sure.
Okay. We've got a question from one. What is the hallmark of a good financial planner?
Wah. Ini question cepu mas,
Josh
million
tengok
dollar
cermin.
question.
Me.
Let me see. Okay, you take a picture of this, and then you give me a call. Then I'll tell you. But then again, the hallmark. It's a very big question. I think I'm not too sure how well I can answer this, but I'll answer this in this way. I think the hallmark would be someone who is genuinely interested on your behalf, someone who will go out of the way to make sure that your life goals are achieved, someone
Right.
who is truly cares for you, or someone who genuinely interested in your well-being. So I think that would be the biggest thing that you need to sense when you talk to your financial planner. If you feel that, and you know that this guy will do this. Now again, when I say this, your financial planners are not your servants. They are your financial planners, right? So the idea is you extend your hand, and the financial planner extend your hand. We work together hand in hand,
Right.
so that we set a working relationship to move forward and achieve life
Right.
goals together. So if I, like I said, if I help you win, I will win,
Mm.
right? So this is the concept. So for me, I hold that very clearly. and that is just like one of the strongest, whereby honesty, integrity, transparency, making sure that clients are truly empowered, educate them so that they can make their own decisions. So
Yeah,
this is
it's not about
where
selling the most expensive plan. It's okay,
no,
what works for you, what's within your budget, and then let's see how we can sort out things to help you
yeah,
achieve your goals.
exactly. And again, you also need to empathize as well. Like, not many clients can straight away commit. But the thing is, if you're genuinely interested, you will find ways to, how do I say, to find some solution. Whether it's 50 ringgit ke, 100 ringgit ke, or even it's 1,000 ringgit, doesn't matter. The idea is you want add value. So that is the key point I would want to drive home lah.
Okay,
Yep.
so since Wani is from Brunei, and I would also like to know, since you're also from Taiping, how would you compare what it's like in terms of getting insurance here versus your knowledge of it elsewhere? Like how would you say the market differs, or the behavior, or how do you say it? Macam the penerimaan lah
The
of
acceptance lah,
insurance,
understand.
the acceptance of it. Yeah, how would you say it differs?
Now, it is definitely different lah. People in like for example, people in Klang Valley, most of them, they are internet savvy. Most of them, they have smartphones. Most of them are exposed to so many informations around them, correct? Whereas for people, like I can't say for everyone, but let's just take my hometown as an example. The way they work is based on referral. I don't want to take so much time to study the market. I don't want to take so much time to study which company is the best. But if my father says that, or let's say, for example, if my friend says, go to Josh. Okay, cukup. That's
I
all I
got to
want to know.
Josh.
I go to Josh. Now, Josh, my friend told me that this is how you have done certain things to me. I give you the budget, you plan for me lah. So that is the general understanding and how they approach lah.
So kalau you nak
So
jual dekat Taiping, you pergi one person cakap, okay bro, lepas ni kau cakap dekat semua orang.
Ayo, if bagus lah, if they can do that. But they do. If they really like you, they really go out of the way to make sure they support you and things like that. But the thing is this: people from Taiping or even small towns. I'm not saying that they don't know. They know, but a small chunk, or maybe a percentage of 50% at least, what they do is they are very simple people.
Right.
They are simple people. So for simple people, what I will do is I will simplify certain things for them and tell them that this is how it works. Now, by being simple, you shouldn't be like go too simple and just say, okay, just do this, buy this, and done. Cannot do that lah. Again, like I said, you need to deliver the proper reasons, proper value. What is the cost and effect? If you do this, this is what you will benefit. Things like that. Whether it's investment or whether it's insurance, doesn't matter. So if you can help them see the big picture, they're in. Whereas for people in kat sini, kat KL, Penang, Johor, Selangor, oh wow, sometimes you need to take at least about 2 hours to present. Sebab
Oh, really?
banyak soalan dia akan tanya. Oh, I heard from
Oh,
this. Oh, I heard from that friend macam ni. Oh, I read this. Oh, is it true? Or is it so many things that they'll come up with, which is
okay.
good because they have information they want to clarify. So that is the
Right.
difference.
Right. And in terms of acceptance of product, like maybe in the urban areas, they might be more concerned about maybe retirement plans, or maybe education plans, and maybe investment as well. But what about in terms of the outside of urban areas, maybe in
Right.
kampong and such?
Okay, the need is still the same. Tak beza
Okay.
pun. Whether it's people from KL or Selangor or people from the urban, tak kisah. It's still the same. It's just that how you convey the message. Now, let me tell you something. If I am in KL, if you are in KL, you need to retire in 30 years. The other joker in Taiping also needs to retire in 30 years. Right? Right? Right. So that guy also needs to, like, you know what? I'm telling you, this is a concern that impacts everyone. Everyone
Right.
will be asking, cukup ke tak? Is it enough or not? And what am I going to do? So the difference is maybe people in Klang Valley, they're more exposed in terms of options. Whereas people in the small towns, they be thinking, you know what, maybe I will try the safest method, like fixed deposit lah.
Mm.
I simpan the duit at rumah lah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You
That's
know
right.
what? This is true story. I got family members, relatives, and all that. They buy gold chains and money and all that. You know, and they keep it inside the beras, inside the bekas beras and all that. You know, I'm not joking, guys. This is true
Yo,
story.
dalam beras.
Yes, and you know this happened. And one day pencuri masuk sapu the beras.
Oh
He not only had gold, he also
no.
got rice stock also.
Oh my
So
gosh.
now, I'm not
But to know, I
simply
mean, I
bullshitting
suppose
what
maybe
it
the person
happens.
was like, I just want rice. And they macam, wow.
Yeah, but then again, that is so happened accidental finding lah. Jumpa beras dapat gold, you know. But anyway, but this is their mindset, you know, because
Right.
they're not exposed to so many options. So
That's
again,
right.
the need is the same, but how you deliver is totally up to the competency of the planner. So, like I said, for simple people, you need to take the complexity of the matter, make it simple for them, help them see the bigger picture, and ask them to commit because they know the need is real. Whereas for people in the state like in KL, Selangor, Penang, Johor, they're more exposed. They will say, you know what, I want to know more. Show me more
Right.
details. Show me more track record. So you need to be able to scale up. You need to be able to scale down. That totally dependent on the competency of the planner. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Okay, and speaking on competency of the planner, we're now going to do a bit of self reflecting and move
Mhm.
into our next segment of what you think you do. Okay,
All
Josh,
right.
give us a pitch. Sell us the job. What is this amazing ideal world image of what you do?
Okay, now before I say this, I will put a disclaimer first lah. You may be thinking, or a lot of people will be thinking like, no, salesman, he's gonna promise the stars, moons, and skies. So it's a typical salesman pitch, but perhaps I want to share with you a different perspective. Now,
Okay,
in any sales job, or let's talk about my career lah. As a
right.
financial planner or advisor, consultant with insurance industry and investment with public mutual and all that. Now, the benefits are there, right? The career perks are there. The flexibility is there. You get to be your own boss. You know, you get to decide your own time of work. You know, you can decide bila you nak ambil cuti, bila you nak travel. Well,
Bangun
you
pukul
don't have
11 pagi.
hopefully janganlah bangun 11 pagi, but you can if you work hard, why not? 11 pagi doesn't matter, as long you produce results lah kan. So now, but that would be, I would say, any job can give you that, right? If you really work hard, any job can give you that. But what's more important is this: in the line of investment or the insurance and things like that, the key here is, do I have the heart to help people or not? Do I want to create impact in people's lives or not? Do I want to make sure that people's life goals are achieved or not? And by me helping them, do I get the fulfillment or not? So ada banyak question, which is we are going beyond money, betul? Of course, money
Right,
is
right, right.
important. But the moment we go beyond and we achieve that, I'm telling you, the money also will come. Whether it's through your work or whether it's through the other medium ke apa ke, God is gracious, God will give it to you, right? But the thing is, you need to really look into how you can really add value in terms of work. So for me, that is the biggest pitch that I can give lah. You know, if you think that this is what you want to do, this is something that you can consider.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay. I
somebody.
actually I noticed the comment that this is actually from Faiz. What did you think you actually do? I think this is I think I know where this is coming from. This is reflecting on I remember you have your profile. It says lifesavers.
Yes.
And to be honest, I often felt that given my real experience of having you as my agent, you in a sense are almost saving lives because of what you do. So
Right.
would you
Right.
say
Right.
that's like this utopian imagery of
Now,
being a planner?
I think it carries a lot of weight when we say we are a lifesaver. Like I said, the way how I'm talking to you guys today and the way I'm sharing today, the value system and things like that came from that team, from the family of lifesavers, right? They actually spend a lot of time to nurture those values, right? So because of that, when we do our job, it's literally life saving. Because you know why? When we do and meet people, and when we realize that they have a bad financial planning, and you are going in to make sure that you take the glue, and make sure that the cracks are being sealed and filled up, and to make sure that the boat sustains when crisis happens, you are a lifesaver. So that's
Absolutely.
how we see it, all of us, yeah, all the people in our team. That's how we see it. So that is why we don't go purely based on just sales. Yes, it is important, but what we need to do is the sales is a product of what you do in exchange of value that you give to your clients,
Right. That's the bigger picture actually. The
right? So
sales is
it
kind of
is,
the perk of it.
yeah. So again, yes, lifesavers, if you ask me, memang kita doing a life saving job, right? So pretty much like we are handing over to say, like, you know what, hey, I realized that there is a crack here, or I realized that your boat is sinking, but there is a way
Right.
to save you, there is a way to manage this crisis, it's not that bad, and we are here to assist you and things like that. So this is where, and I strongly believe in that. Yeah.
So what was your, I mean, given that's what you strongly believe, but was that your expectation when you first started?
No, my I had a different kind of expectation. Imagine lah, I
Okay.
just graduated. I was 23 years old.
Ooh la la.
Before anyone planted anything in my mind, I'm already thinking stars, moons, and stars. Okay, I am already thinking like, oh,
Where's
within
Jennifer? You promised him to.
Yes,
no
She
no no no
that's
no
what
promised.
we
no no
want
no
to
no
know.
no, it's not Jennifer. But it's just me, because I've always had interest in business, right?
Okay.
While I was in college and things, like, I was trying different things, working part time here
Okay.
and there, earning pocket money and things like that. And I've always want to try out business. So when I joined into the business, my expectation was I'm going to make it boom within 6 months. It's going to be jackpot for me, or within 1 year, it's going to be jackpot for me.
Uh,
But the truth is there a potential for you to achieve that? Yes, true. But kenalah plow in a lot of time and energy and effort to achieve that, right? So again, so I think there has to be a realistic expectation. Now, any job that
right.
we do is tough. So I'm not saying that discount your expectation. No, I'm not saying that. But be realistic. I want to achieve
Mhm.
this, but I need to have a systematic plan to say, you know what, I will work on a plan, and provided with this time, I will achieve it. But don't have the mentality of skim cepai kaya mentality. I'm gonna go in 6 month time, boom, it's gonna go, everything is gonna be rosy. The moment a train comes and knock you off, you're just like, crap, I died. You know.
Josh
So
dah tak print duit dah.
no more printing, my printing machine is gone, and life is bad, everyone is bad, the world is against me. That is not
Hmm.
fair lah, because again,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
mismanagement, betul. So I had that expectation, and I had to correct that.
Okay.
In fact, I think I had too much of that expectation, and it became my downfall as well.
I see.
So I had to correct that continuously. Even until today, there are some lingering thoughts and things like that, and you have to continuously correct that mindset. Correct. If you fall, it's okay, bangun balik, correct back. So just to give you a perspective of what was my expectation lah.
So how do you view yourself and people who do what you do? Like if you were in a setting where you were to meet another person who is also a life planner or a consultant, how does that dynamic work out? Like how do you guys see each other?
um Whether we are from the same company or whether we are from a different company, my I mean, I learned this from my colleagues lah.
Okay.
We are not competitors, right? We are not competitors. All of us are in the business of saving lives, or in the
Right.
business of people saving financial goals, or achieving financial goals, or helping in some way or another. So for me, the moment you see each other as competitor, you'll be like, oh, aku nak curi your client, I want to curi my client, and that is the mindset. It's not healthy. But the
Right.
moment you take the mindset of, you know what, I want to collaborate. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I have friends from different companies, from Prudential lah, Allianz lah, AIA lah, and so on, right? And guess what? If something doesn't go through with me in our company, I will straight away call my other friends from so-called competitors, but they're my friends. I will tell them, hey, bro, hey, sis, do you think you can help out this client or not? Because in Great Eastern, tak lepas lah, but can you try in Allianz tak? Or,
Right, right, right,
and then
right,
the
right.
Allianz guy will say, hey, bro, Allianz tak lepas lah. You think you can try for GE tak? So again, why are we doing this? Because we are building a collaborative ecosystem, right?
Right.
So when you do that, I'm telling you, it's a bit more fun lah when you're working and when you see another person. So when you see another planner, the first thing that you'll ask is, oh wow, how do you do a business? How can you grow so much? What kind of people do you meet? Is that something I can learn from you? It's all about your attitude and your heart posture. Kalau your heart is about to learn, you will see everyone as your friend. But if your heart is all about what is it for me, everyone is a
Mm,
competitor. So you can't
right,
learn.
right.
Yeah.
So it's sort of in a sense you see that, okay, if let's say you have a client that has certain needs and maybe your insurance doesn't cover it, or the insurance that you provide doesn't cover it, you'd be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
call up a friend from another one and go, hey bro, does yours cover this sort of thing? I've got this situation, can you guys cover this sort of thing, this sort of
Yeah, yeah,
case?
yeah. So what you are doing is you are doing like you're building an ecosystem so that when client sees you as a resource person. Like, okay, I know when I go to this guy, when I go and meet Josh, means Josh is able to assist me or lead me towards the right people. If Josh can't help, I'm sure Josh will find someone else who can help. Right.
Yeah.
So that is the mindset that I think I would want to approach when I see another fellow planner.
Okay. Well, before we go into the next segment, it seems that before we go into what you actually do, it seems a lot of people would agree that Josh is the superhero and the Superman. So
Siapa
someone
ni?
who's Uncle Josh is the Superman. Uncle Josh is the Superman. So that's really cute.
Siapa ni? SAWGD. Siapa ni?
Someone who sees Uncle Josh as a Superman.
Janganlah call me
That's beautiful.
uncle. Alamak.
That's beautiful. Okay. So now let's go into our fifth and final segment of what you actually
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Okay. I know you mentioned a bit of it earlier on, but
Right.
how would you describe a typical working day for you? And how's the process of work like? What's that like?
Okay. Now when it comes to doing sales, right? There
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much you're taking a three role in one job, right? So role number one is you are a PR person, or you need to do networking, right? So when you do networking, you need to build relationships. So that is one aspect of the day that is going. Another aspect is marketing. What
Mm-hmm.
are you marketing? You're marketing your services, you're marketing your experiences, you're marketing your achievements and things like that. So now you're a networker, you're doing networking job, you're doing marketing job, and then you're a salesman as well, right? So whereby you're doing sales, you're approaching people, advising people their solutions and whatnot, and trying to seal the deal and ensure that we all move forward. So that is typically the kind is my day-to-day basis. So in a day, ada je kerja. Suddenly, I have to call to build a relationship with a client. Or some
Mm-hmm.
clients will say, "Hey, Josh, I referred my friend to you. Can you give him a call?" So I will give him a call. I'll talk to him, build relationship. So that's networking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right, of course, before COVID, we will be meeting outside kedai mamak ke
Right.
or Starbucks ke. We will do that, but unfortunately, we can't do that right now. So we do it over Zoom or over phone call. Now, number two is marketing. Even more important right now is social media marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'll be using different postings, these different methods. Again, I have some people that I look up to, so I learn from them, and I'll try to
Follow
like
down below,
see.
you'll see the little trailing thing.
Yeah, guys,
Follow in
you
social
can see my
media.
name there. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I really appreciate that. Share it. Whatever you guys do lah. I appreciate lah. Yeah. Love, 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 love. Okay. So anyway, and then I also doing sales like from day to day. I have appointments. So I had the investment appointment. I also had an insurance appointment. But
Hmm.
not every day will be sales also, because sometimes there's also servicing, because some client they are admitted in the hospital, ada issue dengan
Okay.
admission, how to help out the clients. I mean, I most of my clients, they have some sort of issue when it comes to admission, kan? So
Okay.
when that happen, I need to attend to that.
Right.
Dealing with the company, dealing for the client, dealing with the doctor. So ada banyak aspect in terms of my day to day. In the beginning, if you ask me, my job was only to do sales.
Okay.
But sekarang, because there's so many things going on right now, pockets of my day is used to manage different things. Right?
And would you
So
say there's a
yeah.
lot of paperwork there too?
It used to be a lot of paperwork, but thanks to COVID, and I think companies have taken initiatives to go into green a bit.
Thanks to COVID.
So yeah, can you imagine, like, we can do sales right now, non face to face,
Right.
right? Last time aku kena pergi jumpa the client kat Kedah ke, kat Perlis ke, kat Johor ke,
Oh
I need to
gosh.
literally go and see the person, right? But now, because of the non face to face, we can do this from a distance, from Zoom. And we can do this 100% from distance. That's number one. Servicing pun boleh. So about 70 to 80% can be done online. But
Right. Right.
there are some important legal documents memang kena meet up the client lah.
Or you get it now. You
So
get it posted lah.
posted, get Lala Move to send it to us, and get a
Mhm.
runner to send it to Great Eastern or companies and things like that. So at this point, you have to be a bit more careful. But once things resumes back, right, I think that would be the job lah. That would be the day-to-day activity.
Okay, so Kathy tengah tanya soalan daripada bilik sebelah. She,
Uh-huh.
she wants to know. She wants to know. She care about you. What's the most challenging thing about being a financial advisor?
The most challenging thing,
Jangan jawab
okay.
bini
Okay, I think okay, and again, I just want to be real and upfront.
Yep.
I think some days your discipline or your level can go down a bit,
Mhm.
right? So when you lose in your discipline, sometimes that can be a challenge, right? So right now, what I will need to do is, like, for example, because of COVID and things like that, I can't meet people, or sales, let's say, become tough and things like that, or activity reduces a bit and things like that. It's already automatic in your mind, that your mind goes into like an empty space, like, oh crap, why is things not moving as I expected it to be? So that is challenge. So the challenge is, how can I come back up to speed quickly? So for example, I know, like, let's take a very simple example. I know I need to exercise for a very long time, betul? I've been of a certain kg. I'm not going to disclose what is the kg, but it's a
It's okay. It's okay.
it's a good kg lah. If it's an investment, I'll be printing money, right? So anyway, uh, so I've been of a certain amount, and then I told myself I need to work out. No, every year aku set the goal. I want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
But only this year, I totally fixed my mind and said, you know what, I will do it no matter what, and I'll be consistent. And thank God I've been doing it, and I see the results, right? So the challenge
Yep.
is this. The challenge will come when you stay idle for some time,
Right.
right? So like say 2-3 days, I start workout, and the next thing you know, malas already lah. Then late to day 4, day 5, day 6. So to come back up is the biggest challenge. Similarly, when it comes to sale, if you go idle for very too long, to come back up, it becomes very hard.
Right.
And the principle stands for anything, whether it comes to your prayer ke, whether it comes to your anything lah. If you slack, that becomes a challenge. So for me, it used to be a big challenge before, but now it's getting better. Of course, I can't do this on my own lah. I need support, so I have good
Yes.
support system around me. Yeah.
Your wife is an amazing pillar of support. I can definitely see that as well.
Thank you. She is.
And
She
and
is.
uh and and if this person is your nephew, he's agree.
Siapa ni?
The one who calls you uncle.
My nephew.
I don't know.
Tak
But they call
apalah.
you uncle. So.
Hello, whoever my nephew, please lah, reveal your name sikit.
Now, Josh, I have
Okay.
heard some. I
Oh,
would
I
say
know
really
who's this guy.
you do.
Okay, I know. It's Jennifer's boy. Yeah, Jennifer's boy. Okay.
So I have
Yeah.
heard some pretty sad This Jake's channel is Jenna. Okay. So okay, we've got a question from Maria. What sets you apart from other financial advisors?
Oh wow, another $1 million question. Uh, what sets me apart? I think I will go back to the part where I said earlier, and I will just repeat that again. For me, I I really take the time to educate my customers and my clients, right? Like I said, from the team that I came from, be it my lifesavers team or be it in the insurance team where I represent mass monies and all that. So there's two different teams that I belong to, and I always believe that value is number one. Whether it's investment, whether it's insurance, you must deliver, and that is something I derive from these two teams, and I know that they do very well, especially when value is being presented as the main piece of cake for you to take for that day, right? So, and because of that, I'm a product of that culture. That is a product of my environment as well, and I also do the same because I relate to that value, right? So for me, you not make money, you want to make sales, you can do that anytime. You want to earn money, there's multiple ways of making money. But for me, I am genuinely interested in the well-being, and as long if I can help and make him move or her move and achieve his goals, that is 100% win for me already.
I would
So
definitely agree on that. I mean, that's why I go to you as well as my person to.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We've got another question. Josh, when zooming with a new prospect, my advice is to avoid Zoom in your bedroom. Terrible to see a bed in the background. Okay,
I
so it's
take
not a
a
question,
bit.
it's a statement. No, tak ada. You punya kerusi, but I mean, maybe good advice actually probably to tell other financial planners if you've got Zoom, if you're doing any. I think it's not just for financial planners, but any sort of business calls. Avoid having your personal space, too personal space in the background. Kalau
Right,
nampak
right.
pintu tandas terbuka ke.
Right.
No.
But I think my office setup, I think okay, kan?
Okay, you wipe the ground.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was going to go back to what I was going to ask you just now. I have heard you tell me some very, I would say, heart touching stories,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is one of the realities of the work. And would you say that sometimes facing or having to hear very painful things is one of the
Mm-hmm.
realities of the job, or is there more to that? That
Right.
you would want to share.
Uh, the reality of this job, especially when it comes to okay, I mean, you know what? To be fair, in any job that we do, we will face lah. But so happen in insurance, you'll face it even more. You'll hear it
Yeah,
even more. You'll hear people like suddenly prematurely passing on.
yeah.
Suddenly admitted in this happen and like stricken with certain illnesses and things like that. So it is sad lah. It does takes a bit of yourself because you know that you work with this person and you know that you have dealt with this person before, and unfortunately certain things happen, and now where we are, right? I'm no longer able to see this person, and things like that. Now most of the time it does affect, but not too deep lah. Because I think due to this job, I've also developed the how do I say, the balance. All right, I also need to make sure that I also deliver my job, right?
Hmm.
So I have to be professional. I need to be objective. Sometimes clients are so upset or certain things or whatever. I need to empathize with them,
Yeah.
right? And by you doing that, you are also giving a part of yourself. So when you do that, you also will be affected. But I think once you come back home and you just tell God, God, whatever it is, I've done my best. I pray for that family that the family will rebound back and will get better. And we don't have answers for a lot of things, and God has for that. So some things which I have in control, if I am in control, I can do. The things
Hmm.
that I'm not in control, I will just surrender to God and say, "You do your show. You do what's best." Yeah.
Right. Because I
Mm.
remember you telling me one of the stories, if I may share, was
Yeah.
when I was signing up for my insurance, and I said, oh, maybe I just want to cover like the education portion of it. And I said, for me, I was setting my goal as purely education.
Right.
And I think there were certain things that I said I don't want to cover, and you
Mm-hmm.
explained to me that you had a client who had made that same similar who had made a similar decision and said, oh, I don't want to cover say disabilities,
Mm.
and the client so happened to be just after that decision was made, came or fell ill,
Mm.
and then they weren't able to cover what they could have had covered,
Yep.
and knowing that you did not make that extra push. I mean, how
Right.
does that how do you deal with that when you're like, oh, I told them, and it just didn't work out, you know?
Okay. Now this is a true story lah. So this happened to a family in Taiping. It's my dad's friend, right? Dad's friend. So husband and wife and a teenager lah, in high school. So when they called me, I told them, I will come and see you when I visit my hometown lah. So I did one day. I saw them. I presented the planning for for the dad, for the wife, for the mother, and also for the daughter and things like that. But their ultimate focus was only on the daughter.
Mm.
I want to make sure that everything is the best for my daughter. So savings ke, medical card ke, whatever lah, investment ke, everything is about the daughter. Then I say, so who is depending on who ni? Right? The child is depending on you as parents. Not parent is not depending on the child. The child is not bringing
Right.
income to you, right?
Yeah, that's
Now,
true.
right. So, but I told them, of course, I told them in a very nice way, but I told them, you know what? The child is dependent on you, and you are the breadwinner of the family. So, you are supporting the whole ecosystem of the entire financial portfolio or whatever it is. If anything happens to you, that's it. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be disastrous, right? Now, of course, I said it in a very nice way, in the most convincing way, and I eventually I told them, Uncle, it is your decision. I'm not going to force you. It is my duty to tell you. Ultimately, it's your decision. What happened was, I think about 1 or 2 years after that, he was working. He works in a construction company, by the way, dealing with the train lines for Gamuda,
Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh.
right? So there was a project. So it happened that he was walking, and that particular day he was not wearing safety boot. So he jalan, and then it's like some bad nail, rusty nail, tercucuk his kasut,
Ayo.
masuk into his leg. Okay, simple. It sounds very. It's like, nothing major should have happened lah.
Aku
Something
je
minor apa
kan.
je.
Ha,
Aku je
ya.
kan. Dapat tetanus jab cukup lah, settle.
Ya, betul,
But
betul,
guess
betul.
what? Shortly after that, his leg swollen up, and then he was
Oh
admitted, and then
no.
he was hospitalized. Couldn't treat. Somehow the germ went into his body or something, and went to the heart and attacked the heart, and he died.
Aduh. Aduh.
Now, when he died, when I got a call from my dad saying that, hey, so and so died
Uncle
and
so and
things
so
like that,
passed away. Yeah, yeah.
it's like, oh, what? How come? This happened, and things like that. It's like, okay, uh, is that something that you can do for him or not? I said, I can't do anything because I told him to buy insurance before, but he didn't buy it.
For
You know,
himself.
for himself.
That's
He
right.
can't leave something for the family. Now, the worst part is whatever plan that was designed for the daughter upon eventually had to be cancelled
Because
because they
it's
don't have
dependent
enough
on him thing.
resources. Yes,
Right.
they don't have enough resources to maintain. So at that time, they just have to prioritize on the day to day, which is I need to prepare food on my table, I need to
Right.
take care of my house rental or whatever it is. So I don't blame them.
Right.
But did this affect? Of course, this did affect because I felt like I should have maybe just forced him and just tell him, Uncle, no matter what, take. But I also
Because if
have my
anything happens,
limitations.
at least they're covered, and the family would have had some form of income to
Something
protect
lah.
them during
Yeah,
that period. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Even if it's 50,000 or 20,000 pun, money is money, right? So,
Right.
so that is something that has been lingering for a very long time. But then I have to tell myself that I was very clear.
Right.
The
You did
uncle
you did
knew
your
what.
best.
Yes, I did my best, and ultimately it's the uncle's choice. So that is something that I have to be at peace with, lah.
Yeah. I think that was, I
Yeah.
mean, you telling me that story when we first discussed it as well was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, you know what, Josh, you're right. I need to make sure that as me caring for my son means
Mhm.
me also caring for myself. You know, it's like if you're in a
Absolutely.
plane, you put the oxygen on yourself first, then you put the oxygen on the child. So
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
yes.
100%. Yeah.
So Josh, we've gone into very a lot of very deep conversation in this sense. So can you tell us exactly why is it you do what you do? What's the thing that really drives you or gets you through every day to keep doing this?
Okay, so it started from the time Jennifer mentioned, right? The good things that she is able to do in her job, and that is the first thing that caught my interest. Of course, along with it, monetary gains and things like that. I have to be honest, lah.
Print money.
I'm working. I want to get income and grow into business and all that. But I feel good when I genuinely have transferred value, added value in people's life. I'm sure you will see some of my postings in my Facebook and Instagram and things like that. I always share client feedbacks, client
Right.
reviews, what I have done for them and things like that.
That's your
And
track record.
yes, yes. So I see when the guy or when the person writes a review like that, that encourages me. That fuels me, that motivates me, and I'm happy to do that, right? Whatever lah, whether it's a small help or whether it's a huge help, a help is a help. I know I've made a difference to that person, and because of that, I'm happy. I'm happy to do that, right? So even sometimes when the days are down and things like that, suddenly there'll be a random messages from either colleagues or friends or clients. They'll say, "Hey, Josh, what you did last time was really, really good. I really benefited, and that really showed me what I should do." So that's like, wow, hey, you know what? I did something good today, and then that brings me up and say, okay, let's do some more. Let's go and do some more. So that is one of the biggest motivation, lah. And of course, ensuring that through the work that I do, the people around me, my family benefits as well. My
Hmm.
friends. Again, we are creating life goals together,
Right.
right? And I have our goals. You have your own goals. My clients have their own goals and things like that. So to know that some of my clients say, "Hey, Josh, I've done this. Or recently I've saved out this much money and I'm buying my new car and things." And I'm a
Ah,
car
right,
and
right, right.
I'm a car person, and I'm like, "Wait, you know what? I'm gonna meet you and I'm gonna test drive your car." And similarly, he will say, "When you gonna buy your car?" and things like that. This is how we constantly motivate and add value. So this also motivates me as well, and to know that all strangers at one point in time they were strangers, but now they're my
And they
friends.
became friends. Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah,
I
so
would,
that is also
yeah,
motivating.
I would agree. I mean, one of the for me why I constantly always swear by having you as my agent is because in so many things that have happened and the several numbers of times that I've had to be hospitalized and such, it's really been that extra added value where I'm like, Josh, like when I had dengue, I was like, Josh, I've got dengue. And you were like, hold on, it's dengue season. I will find a hospital where they've got a bed available because like otherwise, you're gonna end up having to go back and forth. And that to
Right,
me really shows the genuineness. It's not just me paying for an insurance. It's me having a friend almost
right,
in that sense. It's a friend who I can definitely depend on and seek
right.
advice from when it comes to even financial decisions. Um, so kind of to as we're coming to a close of this, what would you advise to people who might be interested to get into this business or this industry?
Okay.
You
Be
want to
it
bring more competitors?
no, be it life insurance or be it investments with public mutual. First, I think our intentions has to be set right. Now, I've seen many people when the intentions are wrong, the doings are also wrong, right? But the intentions are set right, and you genuinely want to make a difference in people's lives. You genuinely want to make a difference for them and also for yourself. And you like the idea of working on your own terms, setting your own timeline, getting rewarded, getting recognized, building your own income, pretty much setting your own path, and being your own boss. You're managing your own stuff, right? if this is something that you like, and you like challenges, you like, let's say for example, you want to experience growth, and so on, and you want to recognize, and you want to be in a place where, you know what, I want to identify, this is the opportunity, and this is the risk, and this is something that I want to learn, and this is what I want to educate. So along those lines, now again, there's many things I'm sharing here, but if this is what you like, and this is something that you can relate, and this is what you want to do, this probably would be one of the best business that you can go into and get rewarded very well as well. Now, honestly, if you do well, in terms of doing the right things for the right reason, you get rewarded pretty well as well, for sure, for sure.
I think that's very beautiful in the sense of when you reflect it back towards your own faith. In Islam, we say
Right.
your nawaitu has to be in the right place, your niyat has to be in the right place,
Yeah.
and with that intention, it it transcends into what you do, and the
Yeah.
output that comes from that. So I think it's absolutely true. If your intention is to do good, the money that comes from it is a bonus. If your
Yes.
intention is to help, whatever comes from it is just it's a plus point to it.
That's right.
You know. So your intention to
Absolutely.
is to be a superhero.
Yeah, I mean, I know I am to a few people, at least to my
I
nephews.
I would definitely agree. Oh yeah, I know. I would definitely agree. You are. Um, and what would you be doing if it wasn't? Do you think you'd be an engineer if you weren't doing this?
Oh,
12 years down the road, I mean, what would you think? Where do you think you'd be otherwise?
I no again. While like I said, while I was growing up, and then I've always had interest to start businesses.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, in college, I met Farhan, your brother, and because of that, I met your parents and things like that. And of course, my circle expanded and expanded and expanded, right? And I see all these key people; they're all doing businesses, and my dad also is in business and things like that. I've always had an interest to start business someday. So even if I became an engineer right after my graduation, I have a feeling that my backside will be very, very itchy, that I will just quit my job and do something else. So it may be insurance, it may be investment, maybe it's something else, but it's a business. That is
So
something that
either
I
way,
like. Yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with that 3 years of convincing your parents. No, 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 no.
Yeah, but whatever it is, I'm gonna face some challenges anyway. But I think whether right now, let's say I've been in the corporate, and then suddenly I have a feeling that I would have still made a jump to go into business. So that is me. I like being adventurous, Kate. I like to tap into all different things and learn. And honestly, for me, if you start a business, your learning growth is much different,
Yeah.
because you are playing with risk almost every single day. So that is something that keeps me on my toes lah. So I like that a bit.
You like the challenge,
Mm.
I think, and
I
that's
like the challenge.
probably where why you are where you are, and doing what you do. Okay,
And and
so
and
what?
and and just to close as well, there is no one way to achieve something, sir, guys. There's so many ways that you can take. As long you're happy, as long you're excited about it, and as long you desire to try something new, go for it. Of course, jangan, don't blindly go in lah, but make sure that you do some research and go in lah.
Jangan membabi
So yeah,
buta.
that's right. I didn't want to say the word membabi buta, but you said it, so yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay, so as we come to our close, is there anything you'd like to promote? Now would be the time where you can talk about your product. 'Cause I know we've been talking more about you and your experience, but now you can finally talk about what you want to sell any product, you want to promote yourself, anything. Now would be the time to do so.
Okay. Okay. So again, I need to be consistent with what I say again. So now I need now in terms of, I'm not going to do any hard sale over this platform. Okay. But what I would encourage is that first of all, you can follow me on Instagram, add me as a friend on Facebook, or even on LinkedIn, and subscribe this show. I think Fatiha is doing an excellent job, being a very good
Thank
host.
you.
And first and foremost, I also want to appreciate the opportunity, and again, I'm truly honored that I'm the first guest to officiate this thing. So that is given lah. Now, in regards to the work that I do, I want to encourage you guys to always be open to learn, right? That's number one. Number two, when you see an advisor out there, or when you see me out there, when you see your own planner out there, don't see him from the angle and saying, "Oh no, this guy is gonna come and sell something," and don't see him that way, right? See him as a person who's genuinely interested to help you out, because again, it's a working relationship, right? Now, number three, we are living in a time whereby insurance is important, investment is important, your life goals is really, really important. Whatever you do, you must pay close attention. And whatever I say, whatever your friends say, whatever planners say, verify it and validate it with information from elsewhere like Google, friends, resources. Yeah, validate it so that you build your own confidence, right? We have gone through the time, we have passed the time and say, oh, my agent said this and I trusted him completely and now he has cheated me. That is those times. Now we are living in a time where there's a lot of information. It is your ownership. It is your duty to take time to also understand what this guy is trying to say, right? And that is why it's a working relationship. The agent or the planner and the client hand in hand working together, exchanging information and life experiences to work forward, right? And of course, if you think that you like this kind of personality or this kind of person, and if you think that what I do and the value that I shared today is something that you can relate, feel free to reach out to me. You know, I'll be more than happy to advise you and be your advisor, be your planner. I consider that as a privilege to be able to do that for you guys. Walaupun free pun tak apa, it's okay. At least we get to chit chat, exchange life experiences, and grow together. So so that is what I want to end with lah. You know, I'm here to help you. So let's work together so that we can help each other and achieve life goals together lah. That is what I will end with lah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh. And thank you very much, everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you for
Thank you.
supporting my first ever episode. I really, really appreciate it. I welcome any of your feedback. If you guys like the whole segmenting, if you like the concept, let me know. Drop in some comments. Leave it in the comments. There's don't worry if you missed this episode. There's going to be the video is going to be on the YouTube page, so you can come back and see it later on if there's any bits you missed or you came in late. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. And good night, everybody. And thank you, Josh, as well, for being a wonderful, awesome guest. Thank you for being my first guest. Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, that's gonna be the end.
Tiba-tiba ada orang pop up pula. Yeah.
Okay, cameo appearance. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a happy Friday. Have a happy weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good week. Take care.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Give us a like, subscribe to catch more episodes, or share this video to your friends. That's all, folks. See you next time. Good night.